When you think about growth, most people immediately imagine visible results. We want the world to see our progress, hear our success, and celebrate our victories. But here's the truth. Some of the most profound growth happens in complete silence, away from the public eye. It's in these moments when no one is watching that we're laying the groundwork for our greatest achievements. The most powerful transformation you'll ever experience happens quietly within the depths of your mind and spirit. The idea of silent growth may seem counterintuitive, especially in a world that often equates visibility with success. Social media, the constant rush of notifications, the pressure to be everywhere, to be seen and heard. This is the environment we live in today. But what if I told you that the real work, the kind that leads to true, lasting change, often happens in those moments of stillness, when you're not chasing applause or attention? What if I told you that the most powerful force for transformation is found not in the noise, but in the quiet spaces between your thoughts, between your actions? Growth is a process, not a product. It's a journey that unfolds with each decision you make, each belief you reinforce, and each habit you cultivate. It's easy to overlook the importance of these small, seemingly insignificant actions because they don't make headlines. But let me tell you, those moments, the quiet, reflective ones where you're working on yourself even when no one is watching, are the ones that ultimately shape your destiny. Think about the people who have left a mark on the world, the great leaders, the innovators, the change makers. Many of them spent years developing themselves in the background. They weren't seeking validation. They weren't waiting for the world to give them permission to rise. They quietly honed their craft, focused on their inner growth, and when the time came, they exploded into the world with unstoppable momentum. The foundation for their success wasn't built in public forums or loud declarations. It was forged in the quiet moments of discipline, introspection, and unwavering commitment to their personal evolution. Now here's the key. It's easy to be distracted by the noise, to chase the approval of others, or to compare yourself to those who seem to have it all figured out. But in doing so, you lose touch with the one thing that can truly transform your life, the power of silence. It's in those moments of stillness that your deepest insights are born. It's in those moments of quiet reflection that you begin to understand who you truly are, what you truly want, and what you truly capable of. This inner growth doesn't need to be broadcasted to the world. It's a private journey that empowers you from the inside out. By choosing to embrace silent growth, you're giving yourself the space to evolve without the pressure of immediate validation. You're allowing yourself to make mistakes, to learn, to adjust, and to emerge stronger and more refined. And the beauty of this is that when you do finally step into the light, when you do share your work with the world, it will be grounded in a deep, unshakable confidence that no external validation can touch. The truth is, silent growth is the bedrock of lasting change. It's the quiet work that precedes every great breakthrough. It's the time you spend refining your mindset, adjusting your behaviors, and aligning your actions with your purpose. That's where the magic happens. So don't be afraid of the silence. Don't be afraid of the quiet moments when it seems like nothing is happening, because in those moments, everything is happening. Remember, true growth doesn't need an audience, it just needs you. We live in an age where everything is designed to be quick. Instant gratification is at our fingertips, whether it's the fast food we eat, the immediate information we seek, or the entertainment we binge. We're conditioned to expect quick results, to want things now. But if you want to truly build something powerful and lasting, something that will stand the test of time, you must embrace the power of consistency over the illusion of instant success. Too often people seek shortcuts. They look for the fastest route to success, the quickest way to wealth, fame, or recognition. But the reality is that these shortcuts rarely lead to sustainable success. They might give you a momentary thrill, a brief burst of excitement, but they won't create the deep, unshakable foundation you need for long-term growth. The people who experience real success aren't the ones chasing the fast lane. They're the ones who commit to a slow, steady process, consistently showing up, even when there's no immediate reward. Success is not built on a single grand gesture or a sudden breakthrough. It's built on the daily incremental actions that compound over time. Think about it like this. If you plant a seed today and water it every day, it may not seem like much is happening at first. The soil might look the same, the seed might remain small, and you might start to doubt if it's worth the effort. But over time, as you continue to nourish that seed, it will begin to sprout, and eventually it will grow into something significant. The key is consistency. Without it, that seed will never sprout, never grow, and never reach its full potential. When you commit to consistent action, you're building something far more valuable than momentary success. You're building mastery. And mastery takes time. It takes practice. It takes a willingness to show up even when the results aren't immediately visible. This is where most people fail. They start strong, but when they don't see instant results, they get discouraged. They quit and they move on to something else. The problem isn't that they weren't capable. It's that they lack the patience and persistence to stay the course. But when you focus on consistency, you shift your mindset. Instead of expecting a quick fix, you begin to value the process. You start to understand that each small action, each choice, each moment of effort is bringing you closer to your goal. You learn to embrace the journey even when it's tough, because you know that growth is happening beneath the surface even when you can't see it. Here's the truth. The overnight success story you see is rarely as instant as it seems. It's built on years of behind-the-scenes work, often in silence, before it ever gets noticed. The people who achieve true success understand this principle. They don't wait for the world to validate them. They focus on doing the work. They commit to showing up every single day, no matter how small the progress might seem. And this is where the real power lies. When you prioritize consistency over instant gratification, you develop resilience. You become unshakable because your confidence doesn't rely on quick wins or external approval. Your confidence is rooted in the knowledge that you are moving forward one step at a time toward your goal. This is the kind of confidence that can weather any storm because it is built on steady, intentional progress. So if you want to achieve something truly extraordinary, stop chasing after quick fixes. Embrace the process. Trust the slow, steady work that is happening beneath the surface, even when it feels like nothing is changing. Because in the end, it's consistency that will carry you across the finish line, not a single burst of effort or a fleeting moment of success. Remember, small actions done consistently create massive, lasting results. Keep going, keep showing up, and know that every step, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to your true potential. When we talk about growth, it's not just about achieving external results or reaching a destination. It's about mastering yourself. And the most profound mastery you'll ever achieve is mastery over your own mind, your own emotions, and your own actions. But that journey to self-mastery isn't always glamorous, and it certainly doesn't come with an instant payoff. It requires a long-term commitment to understanding who you really are, what drives you, and what holds you back. We often think of mastery as something we can acquire through knowledge or experience alone. And while those elements are crucial, real mastery begins when we look inward. It's easy to be distracted by the external, by what others are doing, by the successes we see around us, by the image of ourselves we project to the world. But true mastery comes when you look inward, when you are willing to face your deepest fears, your limiting beliefs, and the narratives you've been telling yourself about who you are. Self-mastery means taking control of your thoughts It means not allowing negative or limiting thoughts to dictate your action. It means recognizing when fear, doubt, or insecurity tries to creep in and choosing a different path. This is where the real work happens. When you consciously decide to take control of your mind and transform it into your greatest ally, not your enemy. But it doesn't stop with thoughts. Self-mastery also means understanding your emotions and not letting them control your behavior. Emotions are powerful forces. They can propel you forward or they can hold you back. The key is to understand them, to allow them to move through you without being consumed by them. Emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your emotions is a crucial aspect of mastery. When you can master your emotions, you create space for calm, clarity, and focus, no matter what is happening around you. And then there's your actions. Self-mastery is the ability to act in alignment with your highest values and deepest purpose, even when external circumstances tempt you to do otherwise. It's about consistently taking action, even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient, because you know that each small step moves you closer to who you are meant to be. It's easy to take action when motivation is high, but true mastery is shown in those moments when motivation wanes, when doubts arise, and when obstacles seem insurmountable. The person who is truly mastering themselves doesn't stop when things get tough. They keep going. They push through because they are grounded in their purpose, their why, and their long-term vision. The path to self-mastery is not linear. It's filled with setbacks, mistakes, and moments of doubt. But it's through those challenges that your character is forged. When you face adversity and choose to grow from it, you become stronger, more resilient, and more capable of handling whatever comes your way. This is the essence of self-mastery, not avoiding hardship, but learning how to respond to it in a way that empowers you. And as you continue on this journey, something extraordinary happens. Your confidence grows. This isn't the type of confidence that comes from external validation or fleeting success. No, this confidence is unshakable because it is rooted in your own inner strength, in your ability to trust yourself, to trust the process, and to trust that you have what it takes to overcome any obstacle. The more you master yourself, the more you understand your true power. And when you reach that point, the world around you begins to respond. Opportunities start to align with your energy. People begin to recognize your strength, and success follows because it is the natural byproduct of a person who is deeply aligned with their own potential. So if you want to change your life, start by mastering yourself. Change the way you think, feel, and act, and everything else will follow. When you become the master of your own mind, emotions, and actions, there is nothing you can't achieve. The journey to self-mastery may be long, but it is the only path that will lead to true, lasting success. Remember, the power to transform your life lies within you. Master yourself, and the world will open up to you in ways you've never imagined. When we talk about confidence, most people immediately think of it as something that comes from external sources, praise, validation, or recognition. But let me tell you something. True confidence is built from within, and it doesn't depend on the opinions of others. The most powerful and unshakable confidence is quiet, rooted in self-belief, and anchored in a deep understanding of who you are and what you stand for. It's a confidence that isn't swayed by external circumstances or fleeting achievements, but one that comes from knowing that no matter what happens, you have the ability to navigate life with strength, resilience, and clarity. The foundation of this quiet confidence is a strong sense of self-worth. It's about knowing that you don't need to seek approval or validation from the outside world to feel secure in your own skin. When you build confidence from within, you are no longer dependent on external praise to feel good about yourself. You become the source of your own validation. This is critical because when your confidence is tied to external circumstances, it is fragile. It can be easily shaken by criticism, failure, or rejection. But when your confidence comes from within, it is unshakable. It is built on a rock-solid foundation that cannot be moved no matter what challenges or setbacks come your way. Now, this doesn't mean you ignore feedback or the opinions of others. It means you understand that external opinions do not define you. You can listen to feedback, you can learn from it, but ultimately you trust your own judgment. You trust that you have the ability to make decisions that align with your values and goals, and that you have the strength to face whatever comes your way. This level of self-trust is the cornerstone of true confidence. It's the ability to say, I know who I am, I know what I stand for, and I am willing to move forward regardless of the noise around me. One of the most powerful things you can do to cultivate this unshakable confidence is to practice self-compassion. Too often, we are our own harshest critics. We beat ourselves up over every mistake, every failure, every perceived flaw. But self-compassion means being kind to yourself, acknowledging that you are human, and accepting that mistakes are part of the journey. When you embrace your imperfections with kindness and understanding, you free yourself from the grip of self-doubt. You begin to see failures not as signs of inadequacy, but as opportunities for growth and learning. And when you can shift your perspective like this, your confidence becomes stronger because it is not contingent on perfection. It is grounded in the belief that you are enough just as you are. Another key to building this quiet confidence is consistency. The more you show up for yourself day after day, even when it's difficult, the more you prove to yourself that you are capable, that you are resilient, and that you can handle whatever life throws at you. Confidence is not built in a single moment of triumph, but in the steady accumulation of small actions taken consistently over time. Each time you push through fear, each time you take a step outside your comfort zone, each time you choose to act despite uncertainty, you strengthen your belief in yourself. This is how quiet confidence is built. One small, consistent action at a time. And here's the real beauty of it. When you cultivate this kind of unshakable confidence, it is magnetic because it is not based on ego or arrogance, but on a genuine sense of self-assurance. When you walk into a room with quiet confidence, people feel your presence. They can sense your strength, your clarity, and your ability to handle whatever comes your way. And that confidence, grounded in self-belief, is what opens doors and creates opportunities. True confidence is not about being loud or flashy. It's about being grounded, being centered, and knowing that you have everything you need within you to face any challenge. It's the ability to move through the world with the assurance that no matter what happens, you will find a way to thrive. So start today, build your confidence from the inside out, trust yourself, embrace your imperfections, and show up consistently. When you do this, you'll find that your confidence is not just unshakable, it's unstoppable. True leadership is not about being the loudest voice in the room or commanding attention. It's about the quiet strength of leading by example. The world often values the flashy, the extroverted, and the showy, but real power comes not from announcing your mission to the world, but from living it every single day. A true leader doesn't need to proclaim their greatness. They show it through their actions, through their unwavering commitment to their values, and through the way they inspire others simply by being who they are. This is the essence of being a quiet warrior of change. The greatest leaders in history weren't the ones who spent their time seeking the spotlight. They were the ones who were focused on the work. They were the ones who understood that leadership is about influence, not attention. And influence is earned through consistent, authentic actions, not through grandiose gestures or empty promises. When you choose to lead by example, you are not looking for approval, not seeking validation from the outside world. You are focused on living your truth, walking your path, and embodying the values you hold dear. This kind of leadership is incredibly powerful because it comes from a place of authenticity. People don't follow you because you are loud or charismatic. They follow you because they see something in you that resonates with them. They see your integrity, your consistency, and your dedication. They see someone who is willing to do the work, who is willing to face challenges head on, and who remains true to their mission no matter what obstacles arise. Leading by example also requires a deep level of self-awareness. You must be in tune with your own values and purpose, and you must be willing to make decisions that align with them, even when it's difficult. True leaders know that their actions speak louder than their words, and they take responsibility for the example they set. They understand that their behavior, their choices, and their mindset have a ripple effect on the people around them. And because of this, they are careful about how they show up in the world. But here's the thing, leading by example doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It means you have to be real. It means you have to embrace your flaws, acknowledge your mistakes, and show others that it's okay to stumble and get back up. Leadership isn't about never failing. It's about being willing to fail, learn, and grow. It's about being open and honest about your journey and letting others see that no matter where you start, with determination and consistency, you can make a meaningful impact. And when you do this, when you choose to lead quietly, you begin to see the real power of influence. It's not about manipulating or controlling people. It's about empowering them. When people see you living in alignment with your purpose, they are naturally drawn to that energy. They want to be part of something greater than themselves. They want to be inspired to take action, to step into their own power, and to make their own impact. This is what it means to be a quiet warrior of change, to live your truth with conviction, to act with integrity, and to inspire others through your example. When you choose to lead in this way, you create a legacy that is far more powerful and lasting than any external recognition could ever be. The impact you make when you lead by example is not fleeting, it is enduring, and it has the power to transform not just your own life, but the lives of those around you. So ask yourself, how can I lead today? What actions can I take right now to embody the values I hold dear and to inspire others through my example? Because when you lead quietly, you lead powerfully, and you create change that lasts. In a world that is constantly buzzing with noise, opinions, distractions, deadlines, and expectations, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. We are surrounded by a constant stream of information, always on the go, always reacting to the next urgent thing. But amidst all of this, there's a quiet power that we often overlook, the power of silence. It's in those moments of stillness and solitude where we find the clarity we need to make the most important decisions in our lives. And it's in the silence that we discover the answers to the questions that have been rattling in our minds for far too long. In the rush of our daily lives, we rarely make space for silence. We are conditioned to think that action, movement, and constant engagement are the keys to success. But let me ask you this. When was the last time you truly allowed yourself the luxury of silence? When was the last time you sat with your thoughts, free from distractions, to reflect, to question, and to reconnect with your deeper self? The truth is, the moments of silence you carve out are not just a luxury, they are a necessity. Silence is where growth happens. It's where insight is born. It's in those quiet moments when you step away from the noise and take a breath that you can truly hear your own voice. In the silence, you reconnect with your core values, your purpose, and your inner vision. It's when you step out of the frenzy of daily life and create space for your mind to quiet down that you can see the path forward more clearly. Without that space, without that clarity, it's easy to get lost in the noise of other people's opinions, society's expectations, and your own fears. But silence is not just a tool for reflection. It's a tool for decision making. We often rush to make decisions, driven by urgency or the pressure to act quickly, but the most important decisions in our lives require careful thought, deep introspection, and a clear sense of direction. And all that begins with silence. When you allow yourself time to step back and listen, to your intuition, your experiences, and your deepest desires, you gain the perspective you need to make choices that are aligned with your true self. The answers you seek are already inside you. You just need to quiet the noise long enough to hear them. In those moments of silence, you also gain perspective on the challenges and obstacles in your life. Instead of reacting impulsively to problems, silence gives you the opportunity to step back, assess the situation, and respond thoughtfully. It allows you to detach from the emotional turbulence of the moment and make decisions that are based on wisdom, not just instinct. This is the power of mental clarity, the ability to see things as they truly are without the distortion of fear, doubt, or external pressures. When you gain that clarity, you gain the confidence to act with purpose and precision. And here's the paradox. The more we embrace silence, the more we find ourselves able to take inspired, deliberate action. Far from making us passive or stagnant, silence empowers us to move forward with a sense of direction. It gives us the mental and emotional space to strategize, to envision, and to plan with greater effectiveness. In a world that values speed and constant motion, silence becomes a source of strength. It allows us to pause, reflect, and move forward with clarity rather than getting swept away by the current. So I urge you to embrace the power of silence in your own life. Make time each day to step away from the noise, to sit in stillness, and to reconnect with your deeper purpose. Whether it's through meditation, quiet reflection, or simply stepping outside to breathe deeply, allow yourself that time to recharge, refocus, and realign. Because in that silence, you'll find the answers, the clarity, and the vision you need to move forward with unshakable confidence. Silence is not a void. It's a source of infinite potential. The more you cultivate it, the more powerful and purposeful your actions will become. So don't be afraid of the quiet. It is in the silence that you will find the greatest strength to create the life you truly desire.